this reflection is too much. But okay, hello everybody, here we are. I don't really have any background curtain behind me. Just excuse me for that. Or let me have that first of all. Just give me a moment, I'll be right back. Coming back, I think this is better right now. Let's continue from here on. And what do I have to do in this particular section? I'm mainly gonna be talking about horizontal scaling. I just watched the video just in the afternoon, so even this is the change that I have made recently. When I'm actually learning at that time, I'm not gonna be going live at that time. Just the main focus is gonna be on learning only. And once that learning is done, then of course, because my way is simple, make a project with the help of the instructor or a teacher, and after that redo the same thing. So that redoing thing will be happening directly over here on YouTube, and because of this thing I will be able to just simply speak because if I'm just simply watching the videos and also of course it's not gonna be possible for me to speak and all, and this will give me the opportunity to just simply speak. But before even that, my mobile is not quite connected to the internet, so let me get it connected and let's continue. To the internet is not to the internet actually, to my PC it's not quite connected, so the network connectivity should be fine, and now right now we should be able to go ahead. Am I audible? Good to go. Okay, that's amazing. Apart from this particular thing, I don't really wanna do anything. Let's simply turn it off and get started. So what are we gonna be doing? First of all, of course we are gonna be learning about horizontal scaling and all. So I have even this documentation, not documentation, kind of what is this called, Notion doc, and we will be going through it and just simply getting the things done and all. And let's simply get the things done. We have quite a lot to discuss, that is for sure. EC2 instance, Google account, what does this mean? Okay, let's simply get rid of this. Amazon services. Alrighty, let's simply get started. I have this particular Notion doc, so I will be going through it, and we'll be just simply knowing more and more about the things. So first of all, let's go through the context, and after that I will be just redoing everything. This is the class that I have already gone through, so let's get started. So as your app grows, you need to auto scale, especially before even that. We have two things. First of all, we have vertical scaling and we have horizontal scaling. When it comes to vertical scaling, so if you have a machine, like a powerful machine, so vertical scaling in the sense, suppose that machine has 10 cores. So vertical scaling is whenever process runs, and whenever suppose you are running an app, and that app is actually able to use all the cores. So by default, JavaScript is a single threaded language, and using a cluster, you can make it multi-threaded, or you can make it behave like a multi-threaded language. Cluster mainly helps you run a file in all the cores that are available right now. So in this way, the same file is gonna be running, kind of all the cores are gonna be used by the process. So this way, your app will be able to handle more load, as simple as that. So it's like making your app being able to use all the cores, or simply being able to get best out of your device. It's just vertical scaling. And when it comes to horizontal scaling, in this mainly in this horizontal scaling way, you just create multiple small kind of machines, and if you are getting a lot of traffic, then the number of the machines is going to increase, and if less traffic is coming, then number of machine is going to decrease. So it just happens this way, kind of simple, straight and forward manner. If you have a machine, and in your machine, if you have lots of cores, because by default JavaScript is a single threaded, so if you have lots of cores, so using all the cores, using the full power of your machine it's called vertical scaling. It's like vertical scaling in the sense making your app being able to just use all the possible kind of power, not power actually, making your app being able to use all the possible space that is there in your device, and uh, and all the codes as well at the same time. Apart from this particular thing, when it comes to what is horizontal scaling, so at the time you just add lots of small mini machines. So this is how it just simply goes, and of course you can configure them as well. So coming back to this, when it comes to this context, so as your app goes, you need to auto scale your app if traffic increases or decreases. This would require increasing or decreasing compute, putting your compute behind a load balancer. What is the load balancer? Load basically, if you have an app or software running, so if there's any request, suppose you go to facebook.com and all, so at that time, first of all, the request will actually go to load balancer. Then load balancer will decide whether, load, just after load balancer you will have target groups. So there are going to be two things, load balancer and target groups. So ultimately load balancer will decide that this is the group that you have to go to, and that group, in the sense, that is the group of lots of machines. So you will have lots of machines at the end of the day, and load balancer will decide which machine is actually going to be used. And simply put, load balancer will send a request to the kind of target groups, and that target group will actually contain lots of machines of the for that particular service, and then one of the machine is going to be used. Again, this happens using a logic. That logic you don't need to worry about it, because all the things are actually handled by AWS. In simply, you will be creating a load balancer. Request will go to the load balancer. Load balancer will using a target groups and all, will just simply select a machine, and that machine will be handling your request. And again, machines are selected depending on the load that they have. So let's suppose I have kind of let's read more, and then I will be talking about it, because if I just keep talking, it will not make any sense. By the way, this much is done. And now AGS stands for auto scaling groups. So okay, let's simply go through it. So AGS, an auto scaling group, AGS is AWS, Amazon Web Services, is a having said that, this AGS is mainly available kind of auto scaling group AGS. There are kind of everything is gonna be related to AWS right here. So an auto scaling group AGS in AWS, Amazon Web Service, is a service that automatically adjusts the number of EC2 elastic compute instances. They are the virtual machines over here in a specified group to meet the demand for your application. It helps ensure that you have the right amount of compute capacity at any given time by automatically scaling up, adding more instances, or scaling down, removing instances based on the demand. This helps optimize costs and ensures that your application is always running efficiently. Ultimately, you can get the kind of definitions from many places, but ultimately what is happening, let me even draw some things here. Would be better if I can just simply draw authentication. Let me draw something here inside this particular section. Okay, let's see what's gonna be happening. Seems like I don't really have anything inside this, or I have a lot. What's wrong with this? Am I facing network issue? Not really, I'm not. So if I'm not really facing any network issue, so why am I not able to use canvas? Probably it's being loaded. But how long will it take to just load? Okay, here we are. So this was all about WhatsApp clone npm package Prisma. Okay, so what the hell? This particular Prisma session story is mainly for the Prisma and all, so that's fine. Let's simply get rid of this for now, or let's simply keep it somewhere at the top. So I'm gonna be selecting all. This is gonna be here at the top. And ultimately, what is happening at the end of the day, you have your load balancer. So load balancer, and just after the load balancer, you will have groups. So I can say target groups. So ultimately the request will come to load balancer. Load balancer using target groups, it will just simply forward. And target groups, in the sense, it will contain lots of mini machines. So there are gonna be lots of mini machines. They will not be like, of course, they can be. So for this is the machine number 1, and again I'm doing it for my understanding as well. If I'm able to explain, that simply means I understood that concept really well. So this can be machine number 1, machine number 2. Similarly, this is gonna be machine number 3, and this is gonna be machine number 4. So ultimately, in horizontal scaling, you can just create multiple. Again, you don't even need to create multiple machines, it will be handled by auto scaling group AGS. But ultimately what happens, you get again the request directly comes on port number 80. So you get the request on port number 80 whenever you make a request, and this load balancer forwards it to the target groups. Target group actually decides which machine is going to be used. Again, all these things are handled based on the kind of traffic that you are getting. So a target group will decide whether to use this particular group or to use this particular group or any group that you have over here. So all these things are going to be decided by target groups, and we suppose all these machines, inside these machines, the process or the software that you are running, kind of the backend that you are running, that is actually running on 3000 port. So the process is running on 3000 port on all these devices. So by default, I just simply send the request to this one, and then using target groups, it is just gonna be forwarding the request to either this machine or this machine or this machine. This is how it will just keep going on. So by the way, this much I've done. And when it comes to, let's go through it more. And by the way, there are kind of many features when it comes to AGS. So these are just the uses of it. So like automatic scaling, health check. AGS will be checking whether your server that you have, that is actually up and running or not, because if that is not running, then it will not be able to give you the response, send you the response. In that case, auto scaling group will automatically, if the server crashes for some reason, will restart a new server or a new machine just after that. So it just checks whether your machine is running properly or not. If it is not running, it will just restart a new machine. So automatic scaling based on predefined metrics like CPU utilization, memory usage, and customized metrics. AGS scale your EC2 instances up or down to maintain optimal performance and availability. The most important thing is this. First of all, CPU utilization, you can just simply set a threshold that if the CPU utilization of all the machines ultimately, so it just checks the average. So if it actually crosses this particular threshold, at that time just create a new machine. Or if it just goes down to a particular threshold, then decrease the number of the machines. Memory usage, similarly, you can just simply select this one as well. If it is using more than this memory, then simply create a new machine. Custom metrics in the sense, you can decide ki from this particular time to this particular time, I'm gonna be using suppose these many machines, and after that I'm gonna be using these many machines. So it's completely up to you. There are many options. Again, we will be going through all these things on AWS. So all the things are actually available directly on AWS. Before that, I just wanted to go through the theory part. Health checks. AGS perform regular health checks on the EC2 instances in the group. If instance becomes unhealthy, it automatically replaced with a new one. So it's as simple as that. Scaling policies. You can configure scaling policies to define how the scale should happen. This should be based on schedule, like increasing the number of instances during peak traffic hours, or dynamically adjusting based on the real-time metrics. So real-time metrics in the sense CPU utilization, memory uses, or there can be some custom metrics, and or you can just simply execute it as well. Launch configurations and launch templates. So they just specify the configuration for instances launched within the group. So such as the AMI, Amazon machine image. So this is the Amazon machine image, the way we have ISO image. The same way this image can also be created. By the way, I will be even showing how it can be created. Instance type, security group, key pair, and other parameters and all. But ultimately what happens at the end of the day, first of all you create an instance. So instance, you are gonna be creating an instance. Once you have created the instance, after that you will be using that particular, first of all inside that you will kind of configure that. Configure in the sense, configure and install what is needed, and maybe pull the code from GitHub. It's completely up to you. So this is how you will be just simply doing the things. So ultimately you will be creating the instance, and you will be just getting whatever you want to do. You will be running the process and all. So all the things need to be configured and installed and all. Once that is done, after that you will actually create the image for that. So AMI, Amazon machine image. I hope this is the full form of it. Let's check it out. I hope this is the full form. Where am I supposed to be? Come on. Here. Nope, here. So what is the full form of it? Amazon machine image. Yeah. So you will create the AMI, and this AMI you can directly create using instance. You don't really need to worry about it. Just a button, click on that, AMI will be created. Once AMI is created, after that you will be creating a template. So templates in the sense instance template. What is the use of this instance template? Once your AMI is created, then you will be creating the instance template. This instance template simply tells that okay, use this particular AMI and just simply create a new instance. So instance template is mainly used for creating the instances. Okay, directly from AMI you can actually create that, but instance template is a better way to just handle all like the images and all. And after that, once you have the instance template, having said that, at the end of the day you will have to create a load balancers or no, auto scaling group. So auto scaling, let me even show what this is. So coming back to this one, this is the auto scaling that I'm talking about. So it hasn't been deleted or what? Reload the page. So this is the auto scaling group. At the end of the day you will have to create auto scaling group, but before creating the auto scaling group, first of all you will have to create a new instance. Once the instance is created, then you can create the AMIs in the sense the image of that particular instance. Once you have created that, then create the launch template. Launch template will be used for mainly launching that. Launching in the sense you have your AMI. Now this launch template will be responsible for recreating new instance using the AMI. So you will have to create that. This is launch template, I named it wrong, sorry for that. So not instance template, launch template. So launch template, this is how we'll be just simply going ahead, focus on the pronunciation. And once launch stance is actually created, after that I'm gonna be creating load balancer and target groups. The question is, why do I load balancers? Load balancers are mainly going to be needed because first of all request is gonna be coming to load balancer only. So I'm gonna be creating load balancer. Having said that, when you create auto scaling group, at that time you even get the option for creating the load balancer. So it's completely up to you whether you want to create or not. And lastly we have target groups. Target group is mainly going to be used for kind of grouping the machine. So if you want to group the machine in a group, because from the load balancer the request will actually go to the target groups and all, and target groups kind of will be deciding which machine is going to be given. So we'll be actually going through all the things, and if I just simply try to show you, so over here I do have this as well. So you will have, you need EC2 machine, AMIs, Amazon machine images, then launch template. After that you will have to create load balancer. You should already know why are they needed, because the request will go here only. After that target groups, and then auto scaling group. Auto scaling group are gonna be needing both load balancer as well as the target group. So let's simply go ahead from here on. So this much we've covered. After the desired minimum and maximum instance counts, you define the minimum and maximum number of instances the group can scale. The desired capacity is the target number of the instance you want the ASG to maintain at any time. The thing is that this is also possible. Of course you can do it. Minimum I should have only one machine, maximum I should have 5 machines, and that's it. This is how it will be going on. Apart from this particular thing, you can just configure the auto scaling automatically. If I get CPU utilization goes more than suppose 50% or something, at that time create a new machine. So this is how it will be going on. And elastic load balancer, new instances launched by auto scaling group are automatically registered with the load balancer, ensuring traffic is distributed across healthy instances. So this is something just interesting. Elastic load balancer integration. So elastic load balancer in the sense the load will be distributed equally. So if I have 10 machines, so they are gonna be getting the equal kind of, the load is gonna be balanced among all the machines, so that one machine doesn't just handle a lot of load. So AGS can be integrated with elastic load balancing. Elastic in the sense that can be changed, that is changeable, that is elastic. Okay, so new instances launched by the auto scaling group are automatically registered with the load balancer. So they are kind of they are registered with the load balancer. That means load balancer is just simply balancing the load using them as well, or giving them the load as well, ensuring traffic is distributed across healthy instances and all. Why use auto scaling groups? Cost efficiency. AGS help reduce cost by ensuring you are only running as many instances as needed to handle the load. It's not like suppose you have 100 users and you have 3 to 4 machines running, so that's not gonna be good at all, and that is why it is needed. High availability, automatically replacing unhealthy instance keeps your application running and smooth. Of course, lastly, flexibility. AGS support both manual and dynamic. High availability, automatically replacing unhealthy instances. Okay, that's right. It just gets it done really quickly. So there is a route called health check that keeps checking whether your machine is up and running or not. If it is not up and running, it will just simply be replaced. And lastly, flexibility. AGS support both manual and dynamic scaling policies to cater the wide range of, yeah, manual means you can just decide, okay, I want these many machines to be running right now, or dynamic in the sense you can just configure R2 scaling, and on the basis of that configuration only it will be either scaling down or scaling up. So this is how the things are gonna be going on. So we've covered this much. Lastly, then the next one is that create instance which runs your app. Having said that, there is this from this particular GitHub, I will be just kind of cloning the code, because I will not be writing the code on my own. Start the EC2 machine, SSH into the machine, install Docker, and install Docker in the machine. Installing Docker in the machine. We'll be not doing it, by the way. Yeah, it can definitely be installed, or install Node.js on the machine. So I'm mainly gonna be installing Node.js, and this is gonna be installed like this. Clone the repo and then just simply run it. So this is the job for now, so why not let's simply do it, and as we just go through it, we'll just, or let's simply get it done one more time. I mean, go through all the pages that I have over here. So this is one of them, and create an MEI image. So because it is not a lot, so let's simply go through it really quick, and after that I will be going ahead. So an MEI image machine in AWS Amazon Web Service is a predefined pre-configured template to use the used to create virtual server known as an EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud instance. It contains the operating system, application software, and settings required to launch and run the server. As simple as that. It can be created directly. Okay, after that we have launch templates. Again, whatever we have been just discussing briefly, all those things have been discussed quite in detail here. So create a launch template. In AWS, a launch template is a resource that defines the configuration settings used to launch EC2 instances. So in AWS, a launch template is a resource, as simple as that, that defines the configuration settings used to launch EC2 instances. It acts as a blueprint that specifies the instance configuration, such as instance type and Amazon machine image, security groups, key pairs, storage. Launch template, yeah, it will definitely take care of this as well, and other parameters, making it easier to launch instances with the predefined things and all. This is how it will be going on. And lastly, we will need this as well. I will be talking about exactly why do we need this user data. And this user data is mainly going to be needed. Suppose you created the launch instance, and after that, whenever that instance launches, what needs to be done just after that, and at that time, whatever you configure over here, all the commands are gonna be running. So user data in AWS launch templates refer to a script or configuration file that you can provide when launching an EC2 instance. This script runs automatically during the instance initialization process, allowing you to perform tasks like configure the instance, installing software, or setting up services without needing to log into the instance manually. So again, I forgot the name of this, but it makes sure that you are actually using bash, this particular command, and then you are exporting the path. This path is really important because right now we are using bun over here. Not even bun, if you want to use node, or either if you want to use node directly, or if you want to bun use directly. So ultimately you need to just export the path, and if you don't export the path, then node and bun or any runtime environment will not be available directly. So the thing is that whenever you run this terminal, so as I open the terminal right here, so there is a file called bash rc. So if I just go to that particular thing, lsa, so over here there is a file called bash rc. So whenever I open the terminal, at that time this bash rc file automatically runs. So if I just simply cat.bash rc here, just like this, so this particular stuff runs. So this particular stuff makes sure that whatever there is inside, inside NVM, it's simply put, this makes sure that your node is available. Okay, let's not go deeper into it exactly how it works and all, but all these commands, whatever is mentioned over here, all these commands run whenever the terminal opens. But in this particular case, when I'm actually starting an instance or creating a new instance, at that time I mean, I'm not gonna be going and specifically opening the terminal. That simply means the path will not be set by default, and that is why I'm just simply exporting it from here so that it's actually available. So this particular path is available, and once it is available, so inside this particular path only node exists or bun exists, so I can directly use it, node and bun, like the way I'm doing here. Okay, instead of using this as well, I could have just directly written bun over here. I'm just simply specifying that bun is gonna be the interpreter and all, and that's it. This is done. This launch template target group is gonna be created like this. So in AWS, target group is a logical grouping of resources such as an EC2 instance, IP address, or Lambda function that are used to target that are used as targets for routing traffic from Elastic Load Balancer ELB. The load balancer distributes incoming network traffic to the registered targets within the target group based on specified routing rules. It's pretty simple. You will get a request on the load balancer. Then of course you will be setting the target group as well. This load balancer will be using this particular target group. Once it is set, then load balancer will get the request, send it to the target group. Target group will be just deciding which machine is gonna be just handling this request and all. And after that, create an auto scaling group, give it the name, select the launch template. These are just the way, I mean, select availability zones, attach this, then try visiting the website through load balancer URL. Might change the security group and add a new listener HTTPS. Lastly, we have to do this thing. This is really important. I'm gonna be adding a new listener HTTPS and create a new certificate to make a website accessible on HTTPS. Because a website is gonna be available on HTTP until unless I actually create the certificate and kind of verify the certificate, it will not be able to use that. So this is what we'll have to create, and automatically scaling policy, that's okay. Auto scale group, fine, done with everything. Coming back to this, so let's go ahead. First of all, what are the steps gonna be here? First of all, I'm gonna be needing to create an instance. So click on the instance right now, click on launch instance, and but before even that, let me make some changes. Let me go to the home page, and what the hell, why is it taking time? For some reason I'm not getting anything on the screen. Okay, here it's loaded. Gonna be changing the area from here, and that should be Mumbai AP South A1, so that I have the Mumbai like India region. So once I have that, then I'm gonna be creating the EC2 instance. So once I have this ACS specific region, I can click on this. Alrighty, it seems to be okay right now, and as I don't have network connectivity problem right now, so I can just simply go ahead. So yeah, coming back to this, I can just simply create a new instance. By the way, I have 0 instance running right now, and as I have 0 instance running right now, that's great. I can just simply click on launch instances, and here let's name it. Name is gonna be what? This is mainly gonna be for testing purpose. So the name of this instance is gonna be host name app. It will be just simply telling me the app, like what kind of app this is. This is mainly for the learning, so I can say AWS, not AWS. I'm auto scaling group, so ASG app. I can name it this or host name. At the end of the day, I will be just simply getting the host. So host name app. So this is the app that I have, and this was the name that was used by the instructor. So I'm just simply using that. Let me make it a bit bigger. Coming back to this, then I'm gonna be using Ubuntu, and most of the things are already pre-configured, so we don't really need to worry about that. Once this is done, after that, key value pair, proceed without key value pair. I'm gonna be creating a new key value pair, and now it's completely up to me. Either I'm gonna be creating that, or don't I have it here? No, it turns out that I don't really have it here. So let's create a new key value pair. That's gonna be RSA or RSA in private value. When prompted, restore the private key in secure accessible location. You will need later. Yeah, that's right. Let's go with RSA. We could have gone with the EDM. I'm gonna be going with this EDM. This is kind of a bit more secure if I'm not wrong. The name is gonna be host name key, and I already have one of the keys, so I'm gonna be deleting that. Coming back to this, this is the host name key. Let me delete it, and once it is deleted, then close this. And host name key, let's simply create the key. Once the key is created, I'm gonna be just simply pasting it here, like saving it there. So once that is done, that's okay. Host name key I have. After that, allow SSH traffic. It will mainly allow the SSH traffic. That simply means you will be able to SSH into the machine. And I don't really have any existing group if I'm not wrong. I just have the default one, so I'm gonna be going with that. Apart from this particular thing, I can allow HTTPS traffic from the internet. That simply means if you have the instance running, at that time you will be able to make the HTTPS request to that particular instance, and this can be done later as well. To set up an endpoint, for example, when creating a web request and all, it needs to be set allow HTTPS traffic from the internet. Let's allow them right now. I'm just simply, because if I don't allow them, I will not be able to make request, but that is yet to be seen. First of all, I'm not gonna allow them, and let's see what actually happens if I don't allow. And after that, I can just simply change that anytime, and that's it. Apart from this particular thing, I don't really need to worry about it, and most of the things are fine. So let's simply create the instance, and once the instance is created, then get the things running there and see what happens. Okay, so this particular thing is done. Once this thing is done, after that I can just simply click on to just go to that particular instance. So here we are. This is the instance that is actually running right now, and I should be able to just simply go SSH into the instance. So copy this, go to the terminal, and ls, of course I need to go to the /home Vipendra downloads. Over here I have my host key, and once I have this, SSH input is gonna be host name key and Ubuntu @ and the IP address. Let's simply click on this, yes, and writing unprotected private key. Warning permanently added, and this warning unprotected private key file. I think I've used I didn't use RSA. Okay, permission this it is required that your private key files are not accessible by others. The private key will be ignored. Load hostname gate, provide permission. What kind of file did I use? Warning unprotected private file key. In that case, what can I do? I could have gone with that directly. Sudo. Nope. If I use the same command, I will be getting the same result even if I use sudo here. Yes. Okay, it worked. Great. At least right now it works. Continue with that. So inside that I don't really have anything. So present working directory is actually gonna be home and Ubuntu. And what is the next thing that we can do? The next thing is actually just simply installing everything. So first of all, I will be installing Node over here. For installing Node, it's gonna be pretty simple. Just go to Node.js. Click on this. Click on download. Select Linux, NVM, and npm. Copy it from here, and just simply go back and install everything. So it's just gonna be done like this. Okay, it should be done. Okay, right now if I just simply say node v, I'm gonna be getting the node version. npm v, I'm gonna be getting the npm version. The next thing is that I have to just simply install bun over here too. So for bun installation, and this is the command to just simply install that if I'm not wrong. So I'm gonna be copying it, come in here, install it. Unzip to require to install bun. Error. What is the issue? Curl FSSL. installing older ones, not really worried about that. If I'm installing using this, what is the problem? Control C, Control Shift V. Unzip is required to install one. If I just use sudo, then unzip is required. Okay, ls I can directly install it using npm and all, but before even that, sudo apt update yes for all. This should be fine. And why I may have to take the help of apt list upgradable. So sudo apt list upgradable. If I upgrade it, it's gonna be taking a lot of time. Sudo apt upgrade. I hope it's not gonna take a lot of time, because there are not many softwares. That simply means it should not be taking a lot of time. Otherwise, this upgrade really takes a lot of time. Okay, coming back to this, I selected Linux over here, and this is for the window and all. So in Linux, this was the error that I was getting. Linux users, the unzip package is required to install one. Use a sudo apt install unzip. So I will have to install this to install unzip package. Kernel, this is strongly recommended, but the minimum is this. Okay, fine. So sudo apt install unzip. So I'll actually have to install unzip once this is done. So this is almost done, and that was the same error. Unzip was required. That's the same error we were getting. Okay, never mind. Hopefully it's gonna be upgraded soon. Reaching 100% is gonna be a milestone here. Okay, done. ls, after that I will actually I'll have to install the sudo apt install, that's gonna be unzip, just like this. Let's simply install this, and once this is actually installed, I can go back to the history, and from here I'm gonna be getting this particular command again. Control Shift C. I can just directly use curl. Enter. Now bun is installed, so bun version. I have to just simply run this so that it actually adds it to the source, I mean bash rc. So Control Shift C, this needs to be run. There are two things: either you can restart the terminal or you can just run it. If you run it, you will be able to use that, and even if you don't run it, if you restart the terminal, it will work. So let's simply stop the terminal for now. Exit it actually. After that I'm gonna be assisting into the machine again, and if I just simply write bun, right now I'm able to use that. So there were two things: either you could have run this command, this automatically adds it in the bash rc and all, so this gets the job gets done. Apart from this particular thing, as soon as you restarted the terminal and all, at that time bash rc file, I mean everything gets added to the bash rc files and all, and that is why you are just simply getting it bun v, and I'm getting the version of the bun. What is the next thing? The next thing is just simply to cloning the project. So the project actually, where is that? And that is inside, coming back to this one. This is the, again, I could have created it on my own, but right now the main focus is, I'm gonna be talking about the code, exactly what's there in the code, so let's not worry about that. But let's simply clone it, and git clone should be done. ls, as I have cloned this right now, cd asg and all, ls, and right now once I'm inside this, so it's time to just simply go through the code. I already have the code, probably asg. Turns out I don't. Okay, never mind. Let's simply open that ASG. instead of yeah, it's better to just simply open it. I already have that, so why not? Projects projects that's gonna be ready for this whole generation. Open it. Code. So this is the code. Kind of I did the same thing here. I just simply cloned it here, and that is why I have this particular code. So this is the cloned code that I have. So just simply clear it and simply exit it as well. So at that time there are a few things that I have. First of all, this is the code related to the Docker. So ultimately, if you want to run your code inside a Docker container, at that time this needs to be done. We might be doing even this particular thing as well, but the main focus is gonna be on this first of all. So inside my bun.ts, first of all, I'm forking the clusters. This is mainly cluster make sure that you are actually using all the cores of your machine. So first of all, I'm just simply checking number of CPUs. So first of all, I will check the number of CPUs, and I will be just forking those many clusters. And forking those many clusters, this is gonna be the primary section. So first of all, this particular part will run, and once this part runs, it forks the clusters. That simply means whenever I am forking the cluster, this file runs again. But the second time when this particular file runs, at that time cluster.isPrimary value becomes false. When this particular file runs for the first time, the value of this cluster.isPrimary actually is true. That simply means this will run, and once this part runs, at that time cluster.fork will run, and it ultimately lots of clusters are gonna be forked. And whenever a cluster is forked, that cluster reruns the same file again. But the next time when this file runs, at that time the value of cluster.isPrimary becomes false, and that simply means this particular part will be running. So if I'm forking 10 clusters over here, that simply means if there are 10 CPUs, so there are gonna be 10 clusters forked, and when 10 clusters are forked, so on those cores this app will be running 10 times. Like on all the 10 cores, this app.listen process will be running, and it will be running on 3000 port. So this is how it just simply goes on, and that's it, nothing else. Inside index.ts, I have 3 routes over here. First of all, that's gonna be hello. This is just for the health check and all. I'm even gonna be having this name over here just for the understanding purpose. This is mainly gonna be for health check. So let's simply add it. So this is gonna be for health check, and let's simply send server is up and running, just like this. So this is how it's gonna be going on. Apart from this particular thing, there is a CPU intensive task. Whenever you call that, it will just simply loop through these many times. Ultimately loop these many times. Ultimately, how much is this? Forget about the number. Let's go through that. So 9, 10 to the power 9, so 9 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's kind of 1 billion, and it will be looping 1 billion times, and after that it will be just simply sending the response. It is kind of a CPU intensive task. And lastly, I have this app.host. This simply gives me the host of the device. So whatever the device you have, it will be just simply getting the host using OS. Again, this OS in Linux it is directly available, so you will be just importing it, and it will be just simply giving you the information about your operating system and all. So this is how the things are. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so let's continue. Let's close everything mainly from here. And once I have closed everything, coming back to this one, ls, I will install everything. So bun install. So ultimately everything is going to be installed, and once I have installed everything, I will be running. And remember that I need to run bun dot index, not index, green.ts. So as soon as I run this particular file, it is running, and right now the worker has started it, and right now 2 workers are mainly running. The question can be why there are only 2 workers. There is a master process running on this particular code, and there are workers running. The important thing to note down is I have only 2 CPUs in my the EC2 machine that I have. So I used a T3, small or something. Let me check exactly what I used. So over here, the machine that I have, inside this particular machine, I should be able to see it somewhere. Coming back to this initialization, I used a T3 micro, and when it comes to this T3 micro, so it uses am I going to be able to see? This T3 micro has 2 cores, and that should be inside this. I should be able to see it somewhere about the course and all. uh, where are the course? Text not working, not really. It's not gonna be here. Security, monitoring, status and alarms and all details. So it should definitely be inside details. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be getting that. Ultimately, this machine that I have, this has 2 cores. Okay, number of CPUs, virtual CPUs, that is 2. So it has 2 CPUs, and because of that thing, there are 2 secondary processes or this worker I have. So first of all, this master process will run. Of course, master process runs on this particular port for 14643, and then master process kind of selects some different ports, and on those ports it will be running the workers. So workers are I mean, the second part is actually the worker. So whenever, okay, I don't really have the code here, never mind. So whenever I run this particular part, that simply means what can I say, your cluster ran, and when the cluster ran, because there were only 2 CPUs, so cluster got forked 2 times, and that simply means you are getting 2 workers over here, and inside these 2 workers your app.js file is running. As simple as that. Keeping it simple. Not app.js but bin.ts, and inside bin.ts we had what? Let me stop it. ls. I run this particular file bin.ts, and this bin cat bin.ts. First of all, this is the master master code, call it. This is, don't call it master code. This is actually the master process. So first of all, this will be running, and when this particular file runs, so this is kind of the worker. So whenever the cluster is forked, at that time cluster will be creating lots of workers, and those workers will be handling this app process and also. If you know about it, so you will be able to understand. So okay, this much we have done, and after that we even ran the process, and as we ran the process, we got everything done. And now it's time to check one thing. As I'm already inside this, and ls bin bin.ts, okay, it has started. And right now, if I just simply come back here and try to copy the URL and try to paste the URL here. So URL, and what else? That should be fine. URL, and this URL will be making a request to port 80, and will this work? It doesn't even seem to be working. Forget about will this work. So I think I'll have to allow it, and if I don't allow it, it will not, I mean, of course I will not be able to send the requests and all. And when I actually allow it, at that time I'll have to send the request to the port 3000 specifically, so that it actually reaches there. Otherwise it is not gonna be working. That simply means I need to change the security group. So I can come back to this security, and inbound rule, let's click on this. So inside the inbound rule, this is the rule that I have. So edit inbound rule, let's click on this, and right now it only supports SSH. I will be adding one for HTTP. It will be from anywhere. Another one for HTTPS. So it will be again from anywhere. But again, if there is a HTTP request, that will be listening on 80 port, and this will be listening on 443 port. So still it's not gonna be worth using. Even if I save it, it will not work, because I'm sending the request on port 3000. As simple as that. That simply means that has been saved right now. So if I just go here, just a sec, coming back to this one, the inbound rules have been changed. So if I just, even if I reload the page right now, the address and the IP address in 3000, nothing is gonna happen over here. So I will have to create custom ports. For creating the custom ports, hopefully my service is still running. Yeah, workers are still running. In that case, is this needed right now? I don't really think so. Let's close this. Coming back to this, these are also not needed. And coming back to this again, I'm gonna be adding 3000 port as well, just for the checking purpose. So this is gonna be custom, and the port is actually gonna be 3000 this time, so that it lets the request come. Gonna be coming from anywhere. Save it. Right now, if I use the IP address and all, so whatever I had here, the IP address, and 3000, I'm getting hello world. That simply means it allows that. And not only that, apart from this particular thing, if I say slash host name, not really host name, slash host, I think that was the one. So I'm getting the host address like IP, and this is the actually IP of the host. Is that so? This is the name of the host actually. So it just simply gives me the host name and all. And not only that, if I try to just use a CPU here, CPU route, so after some time it will be just simply returning me the CPU now. So yeah, it is working. And right now I'm able to get the result mainly because the process is actually inside the inbound rules. I have this custom inbound, and that simply accepts the request at 3000 port that I will be deleting right now. So once this is done, HTTP and HTTPS request, I'm gonna be getting that, so that if I get them, they're mainly important when you are using Nginx. So Nginx will be supposedly saying on 443 or 80, and then Nginx will be responsible for forwarding the things and all. But right now we are not even worrying about them, but let's simply let them be here. So this particular part is done. So right now what is actually happening, one more thing I have missed, and that is, let's simply stop it, ls, and we have to install pm2. So why is this even not needed, I will talk about it. But npm install pm2 globally. So this is how pm2 is going to be installed. So we need the pm2, so that it is pm2 is mainly responsible for restarting the process and all. So if it crashes for some reason, it will be just simply restarting that, spawning that again. So this is the main job of pm2. So once this is done, ls, and right now if I want to, of course I can just simply check bun directly over here. That simply means if I want to start it using pm2, so I can say pm2 start, and again if you want to take the help of pm2, so write pm2, and then you will be knowing more about that, exactly how you can start and all. But right now I'm gonna be writing pm2 start. I will be by default node is used, but over here we want to use bun interpreter, and hopefully I have already installed bun here. So I'm gonna be using interpreter bun. So I'm gonna be writing bun over here, and after that I'm gonna be running which file, bin.ts file is gonna be running. So let's simply enter. So right now it's been forked, watching is disabled, that's okay, but it is started running. And right now I can even check pm2 and logs and all. So when it comes to logs, so first of all these things ran, and then this is the log related to the worker and all. And specifically if you want to know the log about the process running on the id 0, so you can just simply say pm2 logs and 0, and then you are only gonna be getting the logs of the process that is actually running on the 0th ID. I mean that is being referenced using the 0th ID. So this is how it's gonna be going on, and as it is running, so what can I do now? Yeah, let's simply do stop it. So if I just try to stop in the sense kind of crashing something and all. But before even that, pm2 and stop and 0th index. Okay, so it just simply got stopped here, and if I just simply say status right now, so it is stopped, that's great. So pm2, I can start it again, 0, it is started again online, ls. Okay, so this is how pm2 actually works and all, so this is fine. And as pm2 is running, then this whenever something it actually gets stopped for some reason, it will be just simply spawning that again. So this is how the things are gonna be going on. So we have done this much. What is the next thing? After that we have to just simply create an image. So let's simply stop it. Even when I stopped it, and if I just simply exit this right now, and if I try to join again, of course I'd have to enter the password and all. At that time, if I just simply say if I check pm2 status, it is still running there. So even if I just left the kind of terminal, kind of the online terminal, pm2 is mainly responsible for just respawning that if needed. By the way, it even didn't get stopped, so it is still running, so that's fine. And this much we've done right now, and after that let's continue going ahead. Continue to go ahead, and Right now I'm gonna be stopping PM2 as well. I don't even need to stop it, but I can stop it. It's completely up to me. Okay, so let's simply exit this. Once I have exited this, I can come back to this Brave. So we have created the instance. We are even running everything, like our server is running at the end of the day on the instance. After that, I'm gonna be creating the what AMI. So I'm gonna be creating Amazon machine image. So let's click on instance. Nope. Let's click on the action. First of all, you will have to select the particular instance that you want to create the AMI of. After that, you can go to image in template. After that, create image or create template from image. So you can create the template from image. We are not really worried about that. We just want to have an image, and that will just get the job done. So let's simply create the image and enter the image name. That's gonna be host name image img, host name app image, just like this. Why is the host name? Because it returns the host name, as simple as that. Description optional, so let's not have it here. And as I'm creating this particular image, it will have no volume. Volume in the sense they are mainly responsible for storing the data. So if you have some data that is being stored on your what can I say, using volumes, you can create a new instance, and whatever things you are actually installing on your EC2 machine, all those things are being stored using volumes only. So you can even create the volumes specifically. Right now, delete on termination. So volume is gonna be created, storage type EBS, device is this, and snapshot and all. I can add more volumes and all. At that time, this volume is gonna be deleted automatically whenever I delete this image and all. I mean instance. So this particular thing is done, and tag image and snapshots together, and tag image and snapshots separately. They are gonna be tagged together, and that's it. I mean, you don't really need to do anything. Just simply create the image. Image is going to be created. As simple as that. Okay. Once the image got created, so if you actually go to AMI, so over here you are getting that particular image. Okay. Now using this particular image, you can just create the instance directly. So it is just simply saying that launch instance from AMI. So from here you can just simply create a new instance using this image. So copy it, copy image request will be registered. Well, I'm not really getting that option here, but definitely if I click on this, so over here you can just simply name your new instance, and suppose this is going to be testing instance. Again, this is what not we are gonna be doing, but I'm just simply showing that it is also possible that you can do. Once this is done, from my AMI you can just simply select the AMI that you created, and right now you created a host name app image. So once you have that particular AMI, you can just simply launch the instance, and the instance is going to be created. Again, the goal is not this, so we will not be doing that. So we have gone to two things. Why am I fumbling? Never mind. Let's slowly keep moving ahead. So we have created the instance. After that, we got our AMI. Once we got the AMI, ultimately image of the instance. After that, right now I'm gonna be creating the launch template. Launch template is mainly going to be responsible for actually launching the instances. You can do it manually, that's okay, up to you. And the another thing is that you are actually using launch template that just handles everything for you. And create launch template, click on this, and host name app launch template. This is what I'm creating, and description host name app launch template, just like this. It will just keep going on. Auto scaling guidance, provide guidance to help me set up. I don't need the guidance. Okay, template tags, you can just simply add the tags over here. Template, so source template, launch template name. Well, we don't really have any template as such, so we don't even have to do that. But if you had any template already, so you would have used that too. And then launch template contents, and over here the thing is that how do you want to create the template? Recent, there is nothing in the recent quick start. You can create the template using quick start. Like, you can actually create the template using the machines and all. So this is also one of the ways. And the second thing is that my image. My image means you have already created the instance, and now using the image that you have, the template is actually going to be created. So this much we've done. After that, this particular section, instance type, and I'm gonna be making it T3 micro, because not sorry, T3 small, because that's what is actually in my image as well. So I have selected this image, host name app image. Again, this is the MEI that I created using the instance. And after that, inside this launch template, I'm specifying everything in the sense this should be the image. So you have to get all the configuration from this image. This is the instance type that you have to create, and then from here I should be getting host name key. This is the key pair I will be using in that particular instance to just simply SSH into the machine. And going ahead, network setting, don't include launch template, selecting and creating security group. When it comes to the security group, select existing security group. So whatever security group the instance has, I'm gonna be selecting that, and that instance already supports HTTP and HTTPS, so it will simply use that. And in that case, default or launch wizard 1. So I think launch wizard 1 should be the one. I will have to even check. So if I actually go to the security group right now, not here actually, I think this is the place. If I go to EC2 and security group, right, so security groups, launch wizard 1, and if I just simply click on this inbound rules, so it is already supporting HTTPS and HTTP, so we don't really need to worry about that. So we've done this much. Coming back to this, as I already have a particular security group, so that's actually a good stuff. And after that, EBS polling, we don't really need to add it, but you can add it too. Like there is a default EBS, and apart from this particular thing, you can even make the changes. When it comes to this EBS, it is just simply saying that this is the configuration for that. Change it if you want. Okay, then resources tag, and then we have advanced details. Let me even go through them. And inside them, we don't really have anything important that needs to be changed here. So yeah, user data, optional. What is the use of this user data? This is the launch template, and launch template in the sense whenever the instance gets launched. After that, what do you have to do? So after that, I wanna just run some of the commands. First of all, is gonna be this hashtag /bin/bash. I hope this is the command. I have to confirm it, and to confirm it, I can go back to my notes, and hashtag bin bash. Okay, something like this. So coming back to this is actually hashtag /bin/bash. This makes sure that you are gonna be using the bash terminal. Okay, once I'm using the bash terminal, what is the next thing that I have to do? Once I'm inside that, think I'm gonna be seeding before even that, I'm gonna be getting the right path. Like what is the path for that? So if I actually SSH into the machine, ls, and if I just echo, what am I gonna be echoing? I'm gonna be echoing the path. This path simply gives me the path, all the paths that are used for making some of the kind of applications available directly over here. So you can just write the name of the application, and you will not have to enter the path, and they are going to be just directly available here. So checking this particular thing here, and the path that we need, that is this one, but not really this one, home ubuntu and bin, I hope so. This is the path that we have to worry about. So control shift C. So inside this particular path, the bun exists, and we need to just simply export this path. So coming back to this, so I can just simply say export. I'm gonna be exporting path. First of all, that path should already contain all the previous paths. So this makes sure that it contains all the previous path plus it contains the new path /. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. And then after that, I'm gonna be cd. Let's change the directly, and home / what should be the name of the directory? Coming back to this, if I just check present working directory, in that case I'm getting home and ubuntu, right? So home /ubuntu /asg. So this is where I have to go. So if I just simply say ls cd asg ls, this is where I have the code present working directly is this. So I had better just simply copy this present working directly over here, control shift C, coming back to this one, I'm gonna be simply pasting it here. So this thing is done. Once I've done this much, after that I'm gonna be needed to install PM2 if I'm not wrong. Is this even needed or what? So PM, not really, yeah actually, but why do I need to install PM2? PM2 has already been installed, so I don't really think this is needed, because the way node is installed, the way bun is installed, the same way PM2 is installed, so this should not be needed here. I can just simply start it. So I'm just simply gonna be saying a PM2 start interpreter interpreter is actually gonna be bun, and you have to start bin.ts. So this is how I'm gonna be going ahead, and I think this much configuration should be more than enough. And once I have this configuration, then default CPUs are 2, so just keep this particular thing as I have the default CPUs 2, so 2 process workers are gonna be running. And apart from this particular thing, there's nothing else. I need to change here. Host name key, AMIH. Okay, I've done everything. Create a launch template, and then launch template is actually going to be created. So we have gone through 3 steps so far. Interesting. So over here, coming back to this, so launch template has actually been created, and this is the default version of the launch template. Later we can even modify. So if I click on this, I can modify the launch template. That means if I made I just did something wrong, so I can just make that better, and that's gonna be the next version of that. So this is what I have so far. So far we've gone through how many things. We've created the instances. After that we have created the AMI types. Once we have the AMIs, ultimately images, then we just created the launch templates. Once I have the launch template, it's time to create the load balancer. So from the load balancer, the request will be going to the target, and from the target, ultimately auto scaling will be handling everything. Let's clear the load balancer or the target groups, or if I'm not wrong, once I actually create the auto scale group, all these options I'm going to be prompted to create the load balancer as well as the target group. So let's see whether I'm actually prompted to create them or not. So let's click on auto scaling group. Clicked on this, choose instance launch type, and then these are the things that we need to do. And somewhere in the middle, I will have to create the load balancer and group, if I'm not wrong. So let's see whether I'm actually gonna be needed to create them or not. So enter name to identify groups. This is gonna be host name auto host name app ASG auto scaling group. Okay, this should be fine. The host name app ASG. This is the name of the auto scaling group. After that, launch template, I'm gonna be needing to select I need to select a launch template, that is this one. Again, default version is only one. Later, as I just modify the template that I have created, then I will be getting more templates, like more versions and all, but for now this is fine. And once this is done, then for accounts created after May 31st 2020, HTTP concern may support creating auto scaling groups with launch templates. Creating auto scaling groups with a launched configuration is not recommended, but still available via CLI and API until December 2023. Okay, it's already gone. Click on next, and from here I have to just choose the instance or launch instance options and all. So by default T3 small is this, version is gonna be 1 and all, so it gets most of the things already. When it comes to the network, so it has these things. I'm gonna be adding some availability zones, and for now I'm gonna be adding all these 3 availability zones, and okay, that's it, nothing else. You have to just simply continue. So let's move to the next one. From here, no load balancer attached to existing load balancer or attached to new load balancer. Now you have to decide whether you have a load balancer or not. So when it comes to load balancer, because if I attach but I don't really have any load balancer, so I can't even attach that. And attaching in the sense, you will have to select a load balancer, and I don't have any load balancer, so I will have to create that. So attach a new load balancer, sorry, no load balancer attached to an existing load balancer. I don't have that. No load balancer, this is not gonna be okay without that. So attach a new load balancer. I'm gonna be attaching a new load balancer using this. Okay, by the way, the load balancer is gonna be for application load balancer. Yeah, load balancer name is gonna be this, that's fine. Load balancer scheme is actually gonna be internet facing. That simply means it will be getting internet requests and all, and then it will be just simply forwarding that. And once this much is done, these are the kind of availability zones and subnets that I have. And then listeners are gonna be what, it will be the what, load balancer will actually be getting the request on port 80, and then will be forwarding that. And as for the existing group, default forward to select a new existing group. I don't really have any group. As I said, when what exactly is happening over here, as I started working on this R2 scaling group, so as I started working on this AGS, okay, then first of all it asked for load balancers. Balancers, I did not have them, so I had to create one. Just after that, this is the first thing that it asked for. So suppose I did not do anything, okay, I directly started working on AGS, creating that. So it will ask for the load balancer, then I will have to create that. And then just after that it will ask for target group. If I have that, I can just simply add. If I don't have, I'll have to create that again. Okay, and just after that it even needs the like launch template. So if you saw that, so before anything else, first of all choose a launch template. So first of all it even asks for launch template. So if I actually just try to keep the things here, so when it comes to this ASG, so first of all it asks for launch template. It simply says, bro, provide me the launch template if you have. Okay, if you don't have, in that case you will have to create that. For creating that, you need to have the AMI, like Amazon image, and for creating the image you need to have the instance. So everything is connected. First of all you need to have the instance, so you can create the AMI. Once you have the AMI, you can create the launch template. Once you have the launch template, you can continue with this AGS process. And then you need the loading balancer, so either create them or you will have to create them again. And then you need the target groups, either create them or you will have to create them again. So this is a simple process. So everything is connected. So this AGS, the top level thing that we want to do, that actually requires everything. Simple. Okay, coming back to this process. So first of all, attach a new load balancer. I did not have them, so I'm just creating a new load balancer. When you are actually creating the load balancer, at that time you need the target group as well. Okay, this load balancer needs to just use this particular target group, and you will have to create them. So over here, select a new or existing target group. I don't have, so I will have to create them. And the target group is name gonna be host name this, and I'm already creating that. So new target group name is gonna be this, that's fine. And so target is going to be created. If we directly create, let me create the few things directly, not directly, but let me see what happens. If I directly create the load balancer, so what will happen? I can create the load balancer, then I will have to select application, network, or this. So this is gonna be application. I can create it. Once I create this, name of the load balancer, internet facing or internal, that's gonna be internet facing, and then IPv4, and then I'm gonna be selecting all the subnets that I have here. So this is how it's gonna be done. After that, security groups, the launch wizard, this is the security group, that's gonna be the one. No, security group by default, sorry for that. Security group should be by default. And then HTTPS, on this port it will be listening to forward redirect or this, so it will be forward to target groups, it will be forwarding. Then I will have to select the target group. I don't have that, so that simply means I will have to create a target group. So in that case, target group name, I don't have that, no resources. That simply means you will have to create a target group, and after that that's it. And this way you can just simply create the load balancer. Having said that, I will be cancelling it, so leave from here. But before that, you will have to create the target groups. Let's see how this target group works. So I can click on target group. I can select the instance, so I'm gonna be going with the instance right now, because that is, then I can enter the name and the port number. This is where it should simply protocol. Just a minute. port number where target receives traffic can be overridden for individual targets registration. Load balancer will automatically be getting the request on port 80, but when it comes to this port, it should be getting it on 3000 if I'm not wrong. Port number where target receives traffic 80 can be overridden for individual targets during registration. And then this, and then I need to enter the like health check path as well, and then this is how things are gonna be done. But what am I trying to do over here? I'm directly trying to create it. So load balancer, this is done. Port, host name, and then host name app.asg. This is gonna be the target name, and health check, I need to add that as well. But the thing is that even if I'm creating the target group over here, I'm not getting options to add the things and all. Okay, and for that reason I'm gonna be creating this time, instead of doing it like this, let me create the load balancer and target group separately, and or let me continue from here on. Let's see what happens. I'll figure it out. Application recovery, health check, okay, and that's gonna be always enabled. Let's simply continue to the next one. Group size, I want 1 and maximum can be, I want 2 actually, maximum can be 1, minimum can be 1, maximum can be 5, and no scaling or target scaling. So target scaling policy or no scaling policy, your auto scaling group will remain as its initial size and will not dynamically resize. Target tracking scaling, choose which one to use. So this time I'm gonna be going with the CPU utilization. If the threshold or the target value actually crosses 50%, then I'm gonna be creating a new one, and after that default, none, additional capacity settings, additional settings. Let's simply click on to the next one, and let's click on to the next one. There are gonna be no text, so let's click on to the next one. Launch template, I don't have my target group, or I have just created that, but I will have to configure that. Okay, configuring is still remaining. So these are the things that I'm gonna be going with, and once everything is clear, let's simply create the auto scaling group. I think target group will automatically be created. Load balancer is also, both of them are going to be created. So this is the kind of scaling group that I have, and apart from this particular group, if I just check the load balancers right now, so I've got this load balancer, it is just provisioning, and then I will be getting the target group as well, or one time. Okay, I am getting the target group. So this is the target group that I have. Of course I can edit it or not. Let's click on this. So 0, healthy, unhealthy, okay, that's fine. By default it has port 80, okay, HTTP1, so it has some default configuration. It got 2 targets, that's right, they are running on that, and it will be forwarding to them. And I think this port number should be around 3000. So the protocol is this, port should be 3000, so that it is able to forward to 3000, but let's see what's gonna be happening. Lastly, what can happen, I can just simply delete it, and then I will have to change the load balancer, I like modify the load balancer and all. And these are the things. So right now what happened, if I actually click on this auto scaling group, so this auto scaling group actually, if I click on instance management, is running these two like instances, and as it is running these 2 instances, that's it. So you can increase the value. Right now you have a desired capacity to 2, and that is why it is running 2 instances. If you want more, it can run even more, but before that, if I just simply click on details and all, and this is the host name capacity overview. If I actually copy this, not AMI ID, I have this auto scaling group, right? So using this auto scaling group, I should be able to get the like address or let me go ahead directly with this. So this is the hostname app that I have. If I just simply enter it here, what will happen? Nothing, not this. In that case, okay, there should be something useful. I'm missing something, ain't I? I think I need to go to the load balancer, and from here I will be getting the URL, because load balancer actually handles everything at the end. Okay, once I'm inside my load balancer, after that listeners and rules, this load balancer accepts HTTP. Okay, it already accepts that, that's fine. So if I go to security and this launch wizard, so I'm accepting the request on 80 ports, that's fine. Apart from this particular thing, coming back to this one, details, and network mapping, not this one either. How am I going to get the link? I think this is the one, host name. If I just simply enter it here, bad gateway in the sense target group is not configured. Is that so? DNS name, this is the one, and it is still bad gateway. So if I go to the target group this time and reload it, so this is the target group that I have, and the port is 80, and I don't think this is gonna be working. If the port is still 80, that simply means, let me ask this question: if target group has port 80, that means what? A target group configured port 80 means load balancer will route incoming HTTP traffic to the registered backend servers EC2 instances on that specific port. Yeah, that's what I said. So if there were Nginx running on port 80, then that's great. Otherwise, this is not fine. So port 80 is the standard port for unencrypted plain text web browsing, HTTPS, and all. That's fine. But this is something I missed, or I think I need to modify it here. The question is, how can you modify the target group? So register, edit health check settings, or edit group attributes. Let's click on edit health check settings, and this is gonna be health check route. I can click on advanced. So health check and port, so traffic port or override. Health check port, the port the load balancer uses when performing health checks on the targets. By default, the health check port is the same as the target group's port. However, you can specify that. By the way, it's gonna be 3000. I'm having to change them manually because initially I was not change them. So I can go back here, click on this attributes, and I may have to delete it altogether. So this target group needs to be deleted, and when it comes to this, I can't even delete that because it is being used by the load balancer. So I can go to the load balancer, and inside the load balancer, if I click on edit subnets, edit security groups, edit load balancer attributes and all, let's see. So there are many things that you can do, but one thing I missed, and because of that thing I'm gonna be deleting both. It's gonna be a quick thing. I should have created load balancer and target group separately, by the way. As I have this, so I'm gonna be deleting this load balancer. Confirm, And once the load balancer is deleted, I should be able to delete this target group. Once I have deleted them both, after that just here, first of all, I'm gonna be creating the load balancer. So click on this. It is gonna be for application, so I'm gonna be creating it. I'm gonna be creating load balancer separately. Okay, कुछ देर से it's already at 23. Okay, never mind. Load balancer name, that's gonna be host name app, and host name app, and load balancer so just like this. So once I have this, have I done something? Okay, here we are. And after that, this is gonna be internet facing. This is gonna be IPv4 and VPC. These are the subnets that I'm gonna be using, just like this. And apart from this particular thing, when it comes to the security group, it has already the default security group. And then this is the important thing. Right now I'm gonna be having HTTPS. Later I can have HTTPS as well. By the way, HTTP will be listening on 3000 port. This is the thing that I actually missed. Later, of course, I will have to change this and all. But this is how the things are gonna be going on. And once this is done, then select a target group. There is no target group, so I'll have to even create a target group for that. Add target group. I cannot really select that. Interesting. So target group needs to be created. So let's simply duplicate it. Coming back to this, and I'm gonna be going to the target group right now so that I have that. So this target groups. Before you create the load balancer, you need to have the target group. So this is gonna be for instances, and host name app target group, just like this. Again, this is actually should be on 3000 port. Oh, load balancer should be requesting like getting the request on 80 port. So let me come back here. This is wrong actually. It should be getting the request on 80 port. Target group is going to be used for forwarding the things, so it should be 3000. And once this is done, then the health check is actually gonna be the route, and target optimizer. There's really nothing else that I need to do. So that's it. So this way I'm gonna be creating my target group next, and register. This is not done yet. After that, I can just decide whether which instances are gonna be used by this target group. This we don't really need to worry about, because R2 scaling group will be handling it. So I can just simply continue from here on. So let's click on next. Target group details that I have, I can just simply create the target group, and once this is created, that's it. We don't really need to worry about it. Once I have the target group, I can come back here, and over here if I just simply refresh it, I'm going to get this name, and once I have that, that's it. And nothing else. So server side task status summary, this is the summary and all benefits. AWS global, load balancers optional, and load balancer should have 80 port, and these are the segments that it is using. Should be for internet facing. Okay, done. Let's create the load balancer. So load balancer has also been created. Now I can go to R2 scaling group this time again, one more time, and if I try to, can I change the load balancer? Can I edit it? Editing in the sense, it will have 215 fine. Launch template, it will have the same template, so that's fine too. Instance type requirements, these things are also fine. Load balancer, so availability zones are fine, and load balancing. Right now this is the load balancer that it is going to be using. So ultimately a new load balancer. So application load balancer, hostname this, and that's gonna be for HTTP. Oh, this should be fine. Let me even reload it for a while. And once reloaded, it has this, and I'm getting these two ones, and so kind of almost everything's done. Let's simply update it. Once the load balancer is actually updated, now let's see. I can go to load balancers, I will be getting, if I click on this, then I'm gonna be getting this DNS name if I'm not wrong, and this is going to be used. So if I click on this, continue to the site, and 3000, nothing as such. Am I missing something? Auto scaling. From this auto scaling, if I click on this, and there are 3 availability zones, and as for instances, 2 instances are actually running right now, and as those instances are running, so if I come here, copy this, paste it here, and 3000, it will not be returning any response, and yeah, of course it is not going to, because it is not listening on 3000 port, so inbound is not allowed. But load balancer target group handles this, right? So if I go here to this target group, it already handles this 3000 related stuff. I'm gonna be on HTTP health check monitor 2 unhealthy. Wow, let's check this thing out. So they are gonna be unhealthy and 0 healthy. In that case, I need to go here, auto scale, and I will have to start it. So automatic scale, not automatic scaling. Let's click on action, and I can just simply click on this. I'm gonna be first of all making it 0, and 0, so that all of them are actually stopped. So now all of them are going to be stopped, and after that I can just simply update it one more time. So this is gonna be probably 2, and this is gonna be 1, and it will go till 5, and update it again. Coming back to auto scaling group, this time you should be using the new instances that are gonna be created. So if I click on instance management, so the previous ones are actually being terminated, both of them. New ones are actually being generated, so the status is pending right now. So let's refresh it. They are in service, and as they are in service right now, in that case, this is the one that I'm supposed to be using, right? So let's simply test it here. Not this one, Control W. Details. So this is just the ASG. I need to go to the load balancer. I think from load balancer only I should be getting the link. So coming back to this one, I have 2 things here. First of all, I have this RNN, but this should not be working. Yeah, of course this does not work. Then I have this DNS name, and I think this should be the one giving me the response. I missed something, or I will have to create the R2 scaling group again, and once that is created, then it should be working. Ha! Knew that, by the way. When you are doing for the first time something, definitely you are gonna be getting errors and all. But this DNS should definitely be working, and if it is not working, that simply means there is something wrong with the group that I have. So let's do one thing. R2 scaling group that I have, delete it. Once it is deleted, I'm gonna be creating a new one as well. It's gonna be quite quick. So host name app auto scaling, host name app ASG. As for the template, I already have this one, and default version and all, everything's fine. Click on next. This already exists. Let me name it 1, and let's click on next. Availability zones, let's simply select all of them, and balance the fine. Click on next. Attach new load, no, attach existing load balancer. Choose load balancer from target groups, or choose from load balancer from the target groups. I'm gonna be getting This one, will it be fine? Oh, most probably. Or choose from load balancer, I can just directly get it from load balancer as well, but there's no from there, so let's get it from here only. And once this is done, attach to BPS, okay fine, enable, always enable 3000 or 300. Let's click on next, and then group size, discharge capacity to 1.5, no scaling, automatic 50%, that's fine, and no policy, launch, terminate, customer behavior, default, enable instance protection, and I think I don't really need to change anything. Let's click on next, 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 and these are the things that I'm gonna be having. Let's create it. Once it is created, I'm just looking for the link, like using which link I'm gonna be actually getting the result and all. So that's something that's missing, nothing else. By the way, instance management, they are pending right now, they are gonna be created very soon. And once they are created, so I can actually go to host name launch template. Let's go to the instances that are actually created right now. Many of them are running. Thought few of them will be terminated, and they must have been terminated by now. So many of them are actually running. Few of them are being initialized. So let's simply check this one. Security. It is accepting like 443.220 SSH, HTTP, HTTPS. Coming back to this one, and this is gonna be IP scaling. Load balancer, I should be there. So load balancers. Click on this one. Click on DNS name. Coming back here. Okay, if it is not working, then definitely I'm missing something. What am I missing is yet to be checked. I'm gonna be asking AI. Can I get the result using this? So HTTP hostname load balancer. This DNS instance endpoint of NWB load balancer API South Mumbai region. Let's understand EC2. Your server is listening on the correct port 3000. Is the server listening on 3000 port? Yeah. Load balancer type group connected to EC2. Health check passing status. Security groups allowed. Load balancer allowed traffic. Load balancer 80 EC2 traffic. Load balancer traffic from EC2 allow traffic from load balancer on port 3000. So user load balancer 80, load balancer to EC2 3000, EC2 your node application. So even if your app runs on 3000, load balancer can receive traffic on 80 and forward to 3000. You don't need to do in the load balancer on. Okay. How is the second part done? So load balancer A2. So for this thing, load balancer listeners are 480. After that, when you create an application load balancer, HTTP did this forward target group user load balancer 480. Now the question is, where does it forward to? So this is handled by the target group. So instance type target group HTTP, and port is gonna be 3000. This is the magic. Okay. So load balancer EC2 private 3000. I think I've done the same thing. I don't know why am I getting this error. So user browser load balancer public DNS and all target group 3000, EC2 private IP 3000. Your node one app, that's it, done. So the question is, if I'm actually doing everything right, why am I not getting the result? It is already forwarding to port 3000, so let me go with this much. Coming back to this one, so the group that I have, so target groups, click on this. 2 unhealthy, wow. So for some reason they are unhealthy. Health check / health check, and yeah, because the path is still this, so obviously that will be happening, and that's the main reason behind it. So how can I change the path? For changing the path, can I delete it directly? I can't even delete it. Load balancer, select this one, edit subnets, security groups, attributes, delete load balancer. Don't really want to delete the load balancer, rather just want to change one thing. Click on load balancer attributes, not this one. Then edit IP address, edit subnets, security groups, not even this one. Target groups, edit health check settings. So this is what I want to check. This needs to be just a slash this time. Save it, because I didn't change this thing on the code side, and because of that thing I was getting the error. And as this is done right now, so if I go to health check, monitoring, details, targets, 2 unhealthy, right? In that case, if I just refresh it, so what is the way that I have? In that case, load balancer is active, network mapping and all, action, I just changed this. If I go to target groups, it should be just giving me the right response, but it is not. So in that case, 2 are unhealthy. The question is, I changed health check route in target group. What to do now? So wait 30 to 60 seconds after changing the health check. AWS needs time to recheck your instance, and EC2 target groups of tabs, healthy, everything works. So I will have to check whether everything works or not properly. Health check manually, curl, test health check manually, very important. Assistant to the machine and just simply check this, and okay, fine. Coming back to this one, refresh it. It is still like that. Okay, let's wait for some time. I'm gonna be just even having my dinner right now. I'm gonna be waiting for some time. If it gets right, that's great. Otherwise, I will have to create the auto scaling server again. I made 2 mistakes. First of all, in first go, I actually used the 80 port. That should not be happening there. And the second time, I used a / health check. That should be just slash, because my code is not as per that. So these have been the 2 mistakes, but let's see how it's gonna be going on. I just need to wait for a while so that it just simply resolves this. Right now it's still unhealthy. If I just simply reload it, it is the same. So hope it will be just resolved automatically. Otherwise I will be just like recreating the things and all. So that was it. I'm gonna be catching up soon. Take care and see you.